Welcome to Fright Night.
What do we get from the light of the sun?
A nasty burn, now isn't that fun?
Swim in the ocean, run on the beach,
Drown in the surf and blood like a leech.
we have no time for merrymaking. Chop off the head for badness sake, sell for a limb, batter and bake. Nasty spells of bubonic night, come close and see what's hidden from sight. Something festering in my bed bugs dancing on my head, ever offends and makes you scream. I want to die on Halloween.
Hey everybody, welcome to Get Busy Watching! I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies. Welcome back to week 2 of my Halloween special. Let's get started.
Makes you scream. I want to die on Halloween. Halloween, Halloween, I want to die on Halloween.
Under the bridge of goblin waits, she never sleeps or hesitates.
A stop-motion film set in a fantastical horror world where assassins are sent to end the horror in their respective missions, only for things to end in ways they didn't anticipate. That was a fucking guess. I have no idea what the fuck I just saw. But no joke, I think I just watched the best stop-motion film ever made. Maybe it's best to say that this isn't 100% a stop-motion film. There are bits of live action and what I can only assume are animatronics or remote-controlled cars, but it is 90% stop-motion, 85% at the most pessimistic. There isn't any real dialogue. It's completely interpretive as there isn't even a set plot. You kind of think it's World War I or II, but the moment the assassin delves into the grotesque world below, this is a horror fantasy. Pure and simple. Again, there's no easily digestible plot. The assassin fails his mission when his bomb doesn't go off and he gets captured by the enemy. Gets cut open and the doctors rip out valuables and papers out of him. A mutant creature that cries like a baby. I don't know. Don't ask me. Then another assassin tries again. Monsters fighting and shoveling shit. Mothers sacrificing their children. The creation of a universe. Bro, I don't know. But god damn, my eyes were glued to the screen. I was utterly hypnotized by what I was seeing and I wanted to watch it again. This was something the hell else, let me tell ya. I definitely need like the sound of laughing children or death metal to cleanse my palate. But this was utterly fascinating and mind-blowing. My honest rating for Mad God, a 5 out of 5.
Tell me a story full of betrayal, a headless horseman covered with snails.
Set in a post-apocalyptic Seattle, schools are a war zone waged by teens. When the school wants order, they commission homicidal cyborg teachers. Think an edgy love child of Breakfast Club, Terminator, and Mad Max. And it's about as fun as it sounds. Make no mistake, this movie is dumb. If these kids don't give a shit, why do they bother going to school at all? Who's making them? What are the consequences if they don't go? The police are too scared of the teens to do anything about it, but whatever. The cyborg teachers are so great. Pam Grier shoving her stiletto into a kid's foot, the PE coach going full psycho and snapping kids' necks, and the old fart being happy peppy 1 second, then spanking the shit out of someone. I can't begin to tell you how hilarious it is. The acting is what you think it is. Imagine if every shithead adolescent was early John Connor in T2, but over the top with it. Then you have a pretty good idea of what you're in for. But once the robotic body horror kicks in, all bets are off. It's a charming bridge between the stop-motion effects of Terminator 1 and the incredible prosthetics of T2. Bear in mind, this was made in 1990. It's dated, but wonderful fun. Definitely not a movie that you could make today. Add another decade, And unfortunately, the rampant school shootings would be just a little too well predicted. Unless you make the kids the evil cyborgs, but that's a can of worms I am not about to open. Still, for what this is, it's still pretty fun. My honest rating for Class of 1999, a 5 out of 5.
These things are like a bad, fucked up George Jetson nightmare. Follow the path, the sleepless night. Feels so good to have a bad fright.
This Brandon Cronenberg sci-fi flick follows an assassin that possesses bodies to frame them for crimes. Things get complicated when the user's original mind begins to fight back. An interesting idea, but ultimately a boring execution. If Infinity Pool is any indication, I'm not a fan of this Cronenberg either. The setup is captivating. Assassins have that mind-invading technology from The Cell and commit murders using another person's body and framing them as the genuine killer. Where the boredom sets in is the way too on-the-nose build-up to the murder itself. It's almost a standard day-in-the-life story about a failing relationship between a man who happened to fall for a rich girl who fell for him in turn. Few characters are interesting outside of Sean Bean, who gets 10 minutes of screen time, but Sean Bean is Sean Bean. His face has its own gravitational pull. The body horror doesn't happen until toward the end of the story and isn't even all that extreme. What cemented my dislike for this was the ending. Without giving anything away, I had to ask myself what the entire point was. Was this entire job an excuse to do something else? Why go through that kind of extreme? It's nonsense at its highest level and is simply bleak and depressing. Andrea Riseborough and obviously Jennifer Jason Leigh are incredible talents, but they're so poorly utilized that I feel like complete unknowns would have been a better choice. Not my cup of tea. My honest rating for Possessor, a weak 3 out of 5.
Something raging down the hall. Watch your step, you'll have a great fall.
This slasher follows a sorority getting creepy calls from an unknown person. Soon after, their house is invaded and the girls are killed off one by one. It's your prototypical slasher by today's standards, but very similar to how I felt about the original Friday the 13th, it does just enough to make me respect it more than others. I know a lot of movies took from this. Halloween took the silent killer trope, and Scream took the creepy caller trope. And because I saw those first, it's difficult to see this and find it all that interesting. But what sets it apart is a trope that wouldn't really carry over into the 80s or even the modern age all that well. Smart characters. Mostly. Like, these characters do call the police and ask for help. No landline wires are cut, no tires are slashed, no doors are locked. They go and the police just don't help them. Even more impressively, these cops don't fall under that dangerous trope of, you have to wait 48 hours before we can file a missing persons report bullshit. It's a slasher classic and I'm really happy that I saw it. I think it's actually one of my favorites now. My honest rating for Black Christmas, a strong 4 out of 5.
You fucking creep!
I'm going to kill you.
I know a sight that will make you scream, I want to die on Halloween!
An alien mind-controlling goo is sold off as a popular dessert treat called the Stuff, and it takes the world by storm. Soon, a little boy that's afraid of it, an industrial saboteur for hire, and an advertiser team up to expose it and survive. This was fun. Anti-corporate satire is usually a good recipe for me, and I can't tell you how entertained I was. I mean, the very opening is someone just eating something off the ground like a toddler. Oh, what's this? Put it in my mouth? Oh, yummy. So damn stupid, but oh so hilarious. This didn't mess around with what it was setting itself up to be, and it rolled with it. The acting is hammy, the sets are cheap, but the charm shines through in conjunction with the message that would make this a great double feature with They Live. Now that's a crossover I can get behind. And of course, there's the disturbing imagery of when the stuff shows itself. erupting out of people like rabies, their mouths open unnaturally large, making modern CG horror ghosts look even more silly than they do now, and the effects team did a marvelous job making other scenes look downright incredible. It has hilarious writing from start to finish, and the talents of baby-faced Garrett Morris, Paul Sorvino, rest in peace gentlemen, and of course, Michael Moriarty carry the film so well. And that ending had my sides splitting. I'm so happy I saw it. I just might include this in my yearly binge of Halloween movies. My honest rating for The Stuff, a strong 4 out of 5.
Bubbling out of the ground like this, there might be enough of it here that we could sell to people.
Oftentimes we're better off dead when we wake the scourgers red.
A teen girl who accidentally caused her parents' death years before finds herself making a deal with two demon brothers to bring her parents back from the dead. I couldn't get into it. It's just a stop-motion version of everything that's wrong in movies today. The only positives I can give are the quality of the animation. The animation is downright jaw-dropping at times, and Keegan-Michael Key, Jordan Peele, and Ving Rhames being the only characters worth paying any attention to. Beyond them, the rest of the cast of characters are either forgettable, insufferable, or the voice acting isn't up to snuff. Main character Kat is unlikable, constantly giving everyone attitude, even if they're pleasant toward her. A character dies and she refuses to be respectful at his funeral, and nearly everything that she does is mean-spirited and selfish. Blindly trusting demons to resurrect her parents isn't exactly the smartest move in the entire world. The story itself gets really convoluted when it tries to make it about juvenile detention politics. Something about saving the school, it's not actually a prison, a council voting. I couldn't follow a damn thing, which is baffling because you'd think that the teen girl who feels guilty about killing her parents would be story enough. Capping the movie off with a protest sequence, I was done. If you're a fan of stop-motion animation, ignore the story entirely and just focus on the animation. Save yourself the aggravation. My honest rating for Wendell and Wild, a weak 3 out of 5.
We can't raise the dead?
Well, we do know how to lie.
I like that plan.
There is no way to leave this room. Put on a hat and strap on a broom.
After saving New York children from a virus spread by roaches, and a scientist used mutated insects to combat the roaches, the mutated insects have evolved and start wreaking a new havoc around the city. Fascinating. Mostly because it's by Guillermo del Toro, and yet it really doesn't feel like it. Watch it in a bubble and you'd think this was a generic creature feature that had potential but was ultimately forgettable. It's literally his second feature film, so we all have to start somewhere. The idea is interesting, taking the concept of insects that adapt to their predators by looking like their predators and turning that on humans. That's frightening. Credit given. But nothing is really done with it. 1 or 2 kills using the monster's human form, but no one in the audience is all that fooled by it. The Judas breed insects are giant bugs and mostly act like it. I give credit that the movie does get gruesome. Kids are killed by monsters, which I didn't expect this movie to go there. The acting is pretty solid, especially from Mira Sorvino, yes, daughter of the late Paul Sorvino from The Stuff, as well as the scene-stealing Charles S. Dutton. Also, check out the baby faces of Josh Brolin and Norman Reedus. Gotta love it. The CG is primitive, with too few animatronics and/or puppets used, and the ending is blah. To see the wonderful work that Del Toro would do later on, it's interesting to see where he started, but as a movie itself, it's whatever. My honest rating for Mimic, a 3 out of 5.
The Judas evolved to mimic its predator.
Halloween, 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 bats will fly on Halloween.
A woman inherits a spooky hotel and tries to fix it up before reopening. Little does she know that this very hotel is one of the 7 gates of hell and gets haunted by dastardly evil forces. What a colossal disappointment. Just reading the summary, you think you're gonna get like a creature feature or something like that. but it's a whole big nothing burger. The problem is that it very clearly has an identity crisis. It's trying to be a haunted house movie, well, hotel in this case, a psychological horror, and zombies. No joke, those are the evil forces this girl deals with. It's just bizarre that you think you're gonna get monsters or something, but no, it's glorified zombies. I don't care who you are. It's really sad too, because the acting from the main cast is really good, especially from, oh dear God, Cinzia Monreale, who plays Emily, the blind woman. But the writing is all over the place, that seemingly important characters are killed off almost as soon as you think they're going to contribute to the story. Plot points get no development, like Emily living in a house that no one has lived in for 50 years, so what the hell is going on with her? She's very clearly not some ghost. And the ending is super confusing, though I'm sure some namby-pamby film critic will tell me the ambiguity is the point. This wasn't my thing. I wanted to like it, as there is some gnarly violence in it, and the acting, as I said, is really good. But what you think you're getting, you don't, and it's a huge letdown as a result. My honest rating for The Beyond, a weak 3 out of 5.
I don't want to go back. You can't take me.
Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Hit that like or dislike button. All engagement is welcomed. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. And as always, have a great night. Stay safe and healthy out there, and hope to see you soon.
Something rancid in the bowl, and we'll take your restless soul. Something breathing in the hole. Heed the man behind the window. Follow the path this sleepless night. Feels so good to have a bad fright. I know a sight that will make you scream. I want to die on Halloween. 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 I want to die on Halloween.